Okay, so let's have a discussions on the scope resolution operator. Let me- Scope resolution operator. Actually, as you know that scope resolution operator in C++ is this is called as scope resolution operator, right? Now, what is scope resolution means? Like every variable which you declare. Let's say, for example, if you have a void main, and if you have a variable like this int a, so we all know that this become a automatic variable and having scope means in which the scope means the limit, okay, where we can use. So this variable integer a is having a limit, having a scope in a main only. Agreed?
Sir.
Yeah.
Yes.
But if you declare a variable int a over here, okay, and let's declare and initialize the value also, right? Int a equals to 5, here int a equals to 3, right? Okay, now if I use cout a and scope resolution a, right, means what value it will print? It will print, first of all, a, whenever you directly refer it, it will print the value of a variable within the scope, right? And whenever you use a scope resolution operator, means the value of a variable which is defined beyond the scope. It means here the output will be 3 and 5. Agreed?
Yes, sir.
So this is the basic utility of scope resolution operator, to fetch the value or to specify the scope beyond the limit, beyond its limit. That is called as scope resolution operator. Then I might have explained one another thing. Let's have another block over here. Okay, means let's say integer a equals to 7, right? Now actually this is valid statement, because within one scope you cannot declare two variables. But in the if your code having the block, right, so you can declare one variable, because like if you write int equal to 3 over here and int a equals to 7, is it possible to declare in this way?
No, sir.
Because two variables cannot declare within one scope. Okay, but if you specify this scope block, then you can able to do it. So now int equal to 7, so if you write cout a again and the scope resolution of a, right, so here what will be, here you will get the output, that is 3 and 5. Here you will get the output 7 and
7 and
5 again.
5. Yes,
You get my point clear?
sir.
So this is the actual basic use of scope resolution operator. Now this is the after understanding this, okay, let us discuss the practical example, because in case of C++, demonstrating scope resolution operator, right? So here you may use IOStream, IOMany. Okay, now if you are writing a class, right, and here if you specify the private data like a comma b, and the future declaration of some from function like void get data, int void show data, likewise. Now it means you just have a declaration of functions. The functions called as member functions in case of C++. The reason is they are the part of a class. They are not a global functions. So now here you just make a declarations, and beyond the scope of a class, this is end of class. If you want to define the member function, right, void, then how you have to do it? Void is a return type, then what is the name of the class? ABC, having scope get data, okay, int x, int y, maybe like this, and a equals to x and b equals to y. In the similar manner, if you want to define the show data function, okay, which is having the scope inside ABC class, actually you just make a declaration over here, and you want to make a definitions outside the class. Cout value of a and the value of b, and also that, right? And then if you go to the main, and create the object of ABC class, right, and d dot get data, and if you pass on some values to it, and d dot show data, you can able to give a call to these functions, right? So have you understood the concept of how you can use and why you can use the scope resolution operator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is what actually the meaning of a scope resolution operator. Scope resolution operator which specify the scope to the compiler, okay, means beyond this scope if you want to use any variable or use the definition, because here the scope of these member functions are within ABC class, but if developer want to define these function definitions beyond the scope of the class definitions, then also you can, by using scope resolution operator, you can able to do that. So these two examples where one, okay, you have a more blocks, inner blocks over there, but if you want to refer the variable beyond the scope, then you can use it. At the same time in the class definitions, if you want to define the functions beyond the scope of it, then also you can able to do it over there, right?
Yes, sir.
So this is the use of scope resolution operator. Probably, okay, you go through that. I'll share you some of the tutorial links, or the some notes also are with you. You prepare that accordingly, and then solve the assignments, or work it out some examples over there, right?
Yes, sir.
So is it clear to you all now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thanks, guys.